Prince Edward, the Duke of Kent, holds a unique and intriguing position within the British royal family. Born in 1935 in London's Belgravia, he is not just any member of the royal clan, but the oldest living blood relative of Queen Elizabeth II. On this very day, he marks his 88th birthday, a milestone that deserves recognition and reflection on his illustrious life. While Queen Elizabeth II has undoubtedly etched her name in the annals of history as the longest reigning British monarch, the Duke of Kent, Prince Edward, holds his own distinction as the oldest living blood relative in the British royal family. His connection to the throne runs deep, as he was a cousin to both the late Queen and Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. Prince Edward's dedication and commitment to his royal duties are remarkable. He once eloquently stated, "I always felt I wanted to support her. That's by far the most important thing in life." This sentiment reflects his unwavering loyalty to Queen Elizabeth II and the monarchy as a whole. Though not as widely recognized as some of his royal counterparts, the Duke of Kent boasts a multifaceted career worth acknowledging. He is an Army veteran, a daredevil driver, and a tennis enthusiast, showcasing his diverse interests and talents. Even to this day, he continues to captivate royal watchers with his remarkable life. The Duke's birth in 1935 held a significant place in the royal lineage. He was named after Prince George's elder brother, Edward, who would later become king. His father was the younger brother of both King George and the former King Edward VII, while his mother, Princess Marina of Greece and Denmark, was the niece of Prince Andrew of Greece and Denmark, the father of Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. During his christening at Buckingham Palace, 9-year-old Princess Elizabeth, his cousin and the future queen, was in attendance along with King George V and Queen Mary, who served as his godparents. The Duke's family expanded with the birth of his sister, Princess Alexandra, on Christmas Day the following year, followed by the arrival of Prince Michael 6 years later. Tragedy struck the family when their father, Prince George, lost his life in a mysterious plane crash. Less than 2 months after the birth of his youngest son, George and 13 other crew members perished shortly after takeoff from the Scottish Highlands. This tragic event thrust 6-year-old Edward into the spotlight as he inherited his father's title. Edward's education took him to Eton and later Switzerland, where he embarked on his first overseas tour to Singapore in 1951 at the age of 16. This trip, accompanied by his devoted mother, provided him with invaluable experience and prepared him for the pivotal role he would play as a senior royal in the future. One of the defining moments in the Duke's life came at the Queen's coronation, where he took on a significant role. Seated alongside Prince Philip and his uncle, Prince Henry, he made a solemn vow to be his cousin's liege man of life and limb. In the decades that followed, he has consistently upheld this promise and remained a steadfast supporter of Queen Elizabeth II. The Duke's military career began in 1953 when he entered the Royal Military Academy at Sandhurst, marking the beginning of a 21-year military journey. During this time, he served with distinction in conflict zones, including Northern Ireland and Cyprus, demonstrating his dedication to his country and the crown. Throughout his life, the Duke has also been known for his daredevil tendencies on the road. His first brush with danger occurred in June 1954 when, at the age of 18, he was involved in a head-on collision, resulting in a hospital stay due to concussion. Undeterred, he soon found himself behind the wheel again, and just 3 months later, his car collided with a fallen tree, leaving him with a scratch above his right eye. However, it was in July 1955 that he had a close call with death when his convertible crashed into a tree and plunged into a ditch near Sandhurst. With his head bleeding and bruised, the then 19-year-old had to crawl from the wreckage. Witnesses marveled at his fortunate escape, as he spent over a week in the hospital before completing his training at Sandhurst. In a more recent incident in June 2019, the Duke's Jaguar collided with a Mini driven by a university student. The young woman described the incident as a terrifying ordeal, as the Duke allegedly pulled out in front of her car, causing her to slam on the brakes and collide with the central reservation. In summary, the Duke of Kent, Prince Edward, is not just a royal figurehead. He is a living link to the history of the British royal family. His 88th birthday celebration today is a testament to his enduring dedication, service, and the remarkable journey he has embarked upon throughout his life. His commitment to Queen and country, coupled with his adventurous spirit, make him a unique and compelling member of the royal clan. In the 1950s, while stationed at the Yorkshire base of his regiment, the Royal Scots Greys, the Duke's life took a significant turn. It was here that he crossed paths with the woman who would later become his wife. His love story with Catherine Worsley, the daughter of a Yorkshire landowner, was often likened to something straight out of the romantic novels like Wuthering Heights or Jane Eyre. Their connection was undeniable, and it captured the public's imagination. The culmination of their romance was their wedding day in 1961, a grand event that made them the center of attention within the House of Windsor. This was more than a decade before the world would witness the high-profile union of Prince Charles and Princess Diana. The wedding procession from York Minster to Catherine's family home drew thousands of well-wishers, spanning a 23-mile route. Catherine's wedding dress was an extravagant creation, crafted from 250 yards of organdie, intricately woven with silver thread. Their honeymoon was spent in a secluded villa in Majorca, and soon after they celebrated the birth of their first child. The Duke and Duchess's family grew with the arrival of George, Earl of St Andrews, in 1964, followed by Lady Helen in 1966, and Lord Nicholas 6 years later. The lineage continues, with one of their grandchildren being the well-known socialite Lady Amelia Windsor. However, amidst the joy, tragedy struck in 1975 when the Duchess contracted German measles during pregnancy, leading to a heartbreaking abortion. 2 years later, another pregnancy ended in stillbirth, plunging the Duchess into severe depression. While she eventually resumed her royal duties in 1979, the loss of her baby son, Patrick, continued to haunt her, requiring her to spend 7 weeks in the hospital for treatment and rest. The Duke and Duchess's relationship also faced turmoil during this period, with reports suggesting that he had considered divorce. After consulting with the Queen, who advised them to try and work things out, the couple chose not to separate. Further health challenges befell the Duchess as she was diagnosed with Epstein-Barr virus and celiac disease. Her strong faith became a source of strength during these trying times, eventually leading her to convert to Roman Catholicism in 1994. While the Duke remained Anglican, he occasionally attended Mass with her at Westminster Cathedral. Though the couple officially remains together, they have lived separately for many years. Catherine chose to forego her HRH title and preferred to be addressed by her first name rather than her Duchess title. Their official residence is Wren House at Kensington Palace. The Duke dedicated much of his time to royal duties, actively involved with over 140 different charities, organizations, and professional bodies. Notably, he served as the president of the All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club from 1969, presenting trophies at Wimbledon for over 5 decades before stepping down in 2021. He also represented the monarch on numerous overseas trips and held roles such as vice chairman of the Overseas Trade Board and later of British Trade International from 1976 to 2001. His close relationship with the Queen was evident when he accompanied her during significant events, such as Trooping the Colour and her Platinum Jubilee celebrations. While the Duke's children and his brother Prince Michael have occasionally made headlines for various reasons, he has maintained a relatively low profile, living up to the Steady Eddie nickname affectionately given by his family. In his book, the Duke's heartfelt words about the Queen underscored his unwavering commitment to duty. He stated, "I always felt I wanted to support her. That's by far the most important thing in life." His loyalty was evident when he walked behind Queen Elizabeth I's coffin as it was carried to Westminster Abbey, a solemn duty he had performed 70 years earlier at the funeral of his uncle, King George VI, the Queen's father. Dear friend, if you like everything new about the royal family and don't want to miss all the novelties, subscribe to our channel and like it. By doing so, you take part in our development. We work for you.